wanted to address a real quick question I get a lot on my live feed Q&A on the Red Delta Project podcast that I host every Saturday around 2:30 p.m. here Mountain Standard Time concerning joints, ligaments, tendons and stuff. A lot of stuff out there about the idea of if you can strengthen your tendons and knees over toes guy, big range of motion, deep squats and stuff, strengthen the knee joints and stuff. Does that really work though? Well, it certainly can and really does, but not necessarily for the reasons we may think. See, when I do lunges like this and I'm really getting my knees forward, or hell, even when I do my sissy squats and stuff, I'm not necessarily making my knees and the joints much stronger by doing that type of training. When you look at the structural anatomy of those fibrous tissues around our joints, particularly tendons, which connect the muscle to the joint, or even in the ligaments, we have to recognize that those are built a lot stronger and tougher inherently than our muscle tissues are. But that's not to say that they can't be very prone to injury. Anybody who's studied martial arts knows that you just put a little bit of pressure in a certain direction and you can feel a lot of stress throughout the tissues around that joint with even a modest amount of pressure. And that's because they're kind of like the shell of an egg. If you've ever taken a chicken egg and tried to crush it in a bare hand, you actually can't do it because the pressure around it is very uniform and evenly distributed. But the second you put an even amount of pressure on that egg, it cracks really easily. And we could kind of say that our tendons and ligaments are very much the same way. As long as we keep the forces going through those tissues fairly balanced and even, they're incredibly resilient. But when they get unbalanced, it doesn't take a whole lot to cause damage. So getting back to deep lunges and deep squats and other extreme ranges of motion in our body, what we're actually doing isn't conditioning the tendons and the ligaments in the joints. What we're doing is training the muscles to maintain tension in an elongated position. And when the muscle is no longer carrying the stress and the work of the forces on the body, it goes bang, right into the joints. So by engaging in the big ranges of motion, what we're doing is we're telling our quads and the glutes and the hamstrings, still be tense, still be engaged. Because if you're used to only squatting shallow or lunging to here, and suddenly you come down here, you may lose the tension in the muscle and therefore you're getting stressed. That's where the whole, your knees don't go over the toes, like, oh, it's bad for the knees. Yes, if you're out of shape and deconditioned, that's true. But if you can keep your quads on, I'm still providing plenty of support to my knees by maintaining the tension in my muscles, therefore, quote, making my joints and tendons stronger. But don't take my word for it. Give it a try for yourself. Employ some of the exercises and workouts over here on my right and see for yourself how increasing the amount of range of tension in your muscles can help make your joints feel a whole lot better and stronger. Let me know if you have questions down below in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. Be fit, live free.